connect with Swaminathan Aiyar, the consulting editor at ET Now. Swami, some morning, Donald Trump has signed a series of executive orders like pull out from WHO, which is the World Health Organization, tough immigration measures and more along those lines. How do you see them, and is this the start of more sanctions to come, more of these extreme rules to come? Are you expecting more along these lines?
I listened to the speech, and at the end of it I had to say this is bad news for India and bad news for the world. Mr. Trump basically is saying America first and to hell with the rest of you. I mean, not putting it quite so bluntly, but that basically is the thing. We are going to make in America, buy in America, we are going to hire in America. We are not interested in buying from other people. We are interested, on the contrary, in making in America. We don't want H-1B guys from India to come. We want to hire in America. We are not interested in wars and so on in other places. We are going to ask other people to pay for their own defense. We are not going to pay for it. We are going to throw out as many migrants as possible, which would include a significant number of Indian migrants who have illegally gone there. And he's going to end diversity, that, there will only be two genders, male and female, no transgender. What is the totality? The totality of this is a very backward-looking thing. He wants to go back to the days of President McKinley in the 19th century, when at that particular time they were building the Panama Canal and basically trying to dominate the whole of the Americas. So it is not good news that we are back to a colonial mindset. He talks about America having a manifest destiny. The manifest destiny was the doctrine used for the white man to conquer and kill all the millions of American Indians and take over that particular thing. It is an unhappy phrase for him to be using in this speech about where America is going to go, not only in the world, but including Mars. So on the whole, earlier on, this was a liberal democratic country, globalizing, saying we are leader of the free world. We don't just look for ourselves. It has now changed. It is just America first, and I don't care about the rest of you. I'm going to make you pay.
Hi, good morning, Swami sir. This is Shrishti also joining in. Good to be speaking with you. With Swami sir, what could be the impact of the tariffs that Trump has been talking about on the global trade setup? Because Trump has also said that he will direct the cabinet to defeat the record inflation. Do you think his policies will be more inflationary?
Sir, all I can say is that he has. The impact on global trade is going to be very negative, and he's made it clear that he doesn't care about the rest of the world. He's interested in America. On top of that, in fact, he has said he is going to create a Department of External Resources. A Department of External Resources to levy as high tariffs as he can on everybody. He says we are going to collect money from the rest of the world to build America. So be very clear. An entire department of protectionism is going to be set up to collect lots of revenue from all other countries. So the impact on global trade is going to be negative, and he's very serious about tariffs just because he didn't mention specific rates. No? But the notion of an entire department of external resources, he's going to raise a huge amount in import duties to pay for the reconstruction and building of America. That is his message, and it is not a good message for the rest of the world.
Point taken, Swami sir, but also tell us, how do you see the US-India relationship going ahead? Because in his previous tenure, Trump had been good friends with India. Our relationship with the US was rather steady, but now he has threatened the BRICS countries a 100% tariff if they continue their de-dollarization efforts. What's your outlook on how this will pan out for the India-America relationship going ahead?
Trump, as I said, is interested in making America great, not in making India great. To the extent India kowtows to him and promotes American interest, he will be happy. But don't believe for a minute that there is some kind of special chemistry between Modi and Trump. No, there is none. He's very clear, I am only for America. What does this mean? What are the things? It means, for instance, India will certainly be hit with tariffs and told to reduce its own high tariffs. That is something he has talked about before. I'm sure he will get back to that. H-1B visas are going to get much, much more difficult. So Americans, he keeps saying, I want to hire in America. I don't want to hire Indians and others coming in. So that again will be something that we are not going to like. The sanctions, he's against terrorism, etc. We don't know exactly what will happen, but the anti-Iran and anti-Russia sanctions are likely right now to be tightened so much that we will not be able to buy cheap oil indirectly from Russia and Iran. If that happens again, we will be hit because we will have to buy more expensive oil. He says, I'm going to build new terminals for exporting gas and oil. So if India agrees to buy from him, which may be not so cheap, he will be extremely happy. If India wants to buy arms from him, he will be very happy. So the defense relationship can deepen. So provided he sees an advantage for America in these areas, he will be extremely happy to say, we are increasing cooperation with India. But be clear, he says very clearly, America first, India and the rest nowhere.
All right, and also Swami sir, we are just less than 10 days away from the union budget. So what are your expectations from the same? What Indian government can actually look upon in this budget?
Nirmala Sitharaman will aim to have a budget of continuity. Above all, I think mostly instead of announcing radical changes, this will be a budget of attempted triumph that we have achieved so much and we have achieved so much. She had said she would get the fiscal deficit down to 4.5% over 5 years. And she will announce that and declare victory, that it has been a major thing, that, I have brought down the fiscal deficit so much, even while increasing capex and making India the fastest growing country in the world. So it will be mainly that. So it will be a policy of continuity. That will be the main thing. She will talk about various allocations for every single sector and how she's increasing this and making provision for all that. Will there be any radical changes in the tax thing? I think she will announce something about a direct tax code. I'm not sure what exactly, but that will basically be a simplification of rules. She may tweak the tax exemption limit and a few minor things there. But on the major scale, you see, excise duties are already under VAT, is already taken care of by the state governments. And the direct taxes, I do not expect very much change, except possibly something on the exemption limit. She will increase the provisions for the production-linked incentive, which has been part of their manufacturing focus. And there may be some tweaks for artificial intelligence for the high-tech sector. How do we build on that and use it ourselves in India? So these are the kinds of areas. The days when budgets were used for major policy changes, I think, are over. They are now much more humdrum affairs. And I think this will be a humdrum affair with her emphasizing achievements, stability, and not very many changes.
Okay, thank you, Swami sir, for joining us. Great as always to chat with you this morning. Thanks so much for sharing your outlook on Trump 2.0, what it could mean for India, and also what you are expecting from the union budget. On that note, we'll slip into a very short break.